You're listening to a DM podcast.
We would like to acknowledge and give thanks to the traditional owners of the land we record this podcast on, the Yagara and Turrbal people,
and their continued connection to the land and waterways on which we meet. Hello and welcome to Sportish, where we look at life through the lens of sport. I'm Libby Trickett.
I'm Georgie Trickett.
And today we have lots of things to talk about.
Well, mainly we should say happy birthday to you.
Oh, I turned 40.
You have entered the 40s. Welcome.
Thank you.
It is it's actually a lovely time of life.
It's so funny. And I've probably told this story a million times. But when I was 15 and watching the 2000 Olympics, I used to think that all of the 27-year-old swimmers that I'd see, which was Susie O'Neill, Kieran Perkins, Sam Riley, Hayley Lewis, they're all like 27 and around the same age, around the same time. At 15, I was like, gosh, these guys are so old.
Isn't it funny what you think an age is?
Oh, so old. Like they just need to get on with their lives. Why
so you can take over and get all the
medals? Why are they still swimming? So lame. Meanwhile, I retired at 27. And then, I just remember thinking that was so old for so long. And then 40 became the new, so old.
But it doesn't feel old.
But I'm here and I'm like, my life's just beginning. I'm so excited for my 40s.
Just one more baby and then you are home free.
I've got I'm 9 weeks to go and I'm clawing my way out of the trench.
But, yeah, it's so two things that happen for me. You get to an age and you assume that by an age you would know what you want to do and who you want to be.
Yeah.
And
isn't it hilarious that that's not the case?
You realise that never happens. It just never happens. But you also get to an age and you don't feel it.
Yeah.
So I constantly feel like I'm 27.
Totally. I still feel 22, honestly.
Well, you are younger than me, so that is fair.
Well, I mean, that would make sense. I still feel vibrant. I still feel like there's so much life left to live. Yeah. I don't know. I just kind of had this feeling that life stopped at 40.
Well, and I totally agree. And in fact, for me,
especially as women,
if we think about it, we started doing the work that we're doing just before I probably turned 40.
Yeah.
Pre-40, I had a whole career change.
Yeah.
But to have the opportunity at 40 or just before 40 to go, we're going to try this, let's do this, and to completely change your careers, I could have never anticipated that.
So cool though. But you also get to that age and stage where you're like, I'm just going to try it.
Well, because what's the worst? You fail.
You fail. And that's fine because then you learn.
And it's a very good life lesson for your children.
Yeah. I mean, if we could teach them that before 40, that would be great.
So, guys, I tried this and it didn't work.
Yeah.
I think for me as well, the kids also seeing me still being active, trying new sports at this age.
Totally.
They just think that's normal now.
Yeah.
Can I tell you, again, we're already off track.
What? Us?
It's so on brand for us. But my eldest has hit an age group now where for their school cross country they have to run 3 kilometres.
Oh, that's too far.
Which is a long
Immediately too far.
Which is a long way. I thought about it. I was like, that's actually that's quite intimidating. And she is intimidated. And she was a bit worried about it. And so she said
Poor Bunny.
I know. She said to Benny and I, can we do some training? And
Cute.
Ben and I are like, okay. So we have been going on Sunday afternoons to one of our local big parkland type areas. And the kids bring bikes, they bring scooters, they bring rollerblades. The 2 younger kids, the first week they did it, they were on their rollerblades and their bike. And my eldest started doing some running. So she started off running 1,500 and then we've moved up to 2. And this weekend she did 2.5 Ks, which is amazing. But what I just loved so much is that because she's doing it, the younger 2 now wanted to start building some mileage.
Cute.
And this is all driven by our children, can I say?
Yeah.
Ben and I, we could not care less.
You're not cracking whips, Georgie. You're not getting them up at 5 a.m.
I am setting the pace right back.
Yes.
I am the back of the pack leader of this. But the younger kids then did some miles yesterday, and then Ben and I get to do our exercise
Amazing.
too. So we sort of do a bit of a loop and then come back to the car, get our eldest into some gear, like a roll. I think she was wearing rollerblades yesterday, and then we'd go and do like a 4K loop. And I just sort of thought, well, this is incredible. We're now doing sport as a family. And that was something I so missed when we had children, that Ben and I had exercised together so much. And then you have kids and you can't exercise together.
No.
I mean, it's taken us a well over a decade to get to this point. But we're here now.
So you're saying when I'm 50.
Possibly.
Maybe.
I mean, you could do it with prams and things like that.
Ugh.
But I think we just reached a point where like, this is not enjoyable and too hard.
Or like you think about doing a park run at 7 a.m. on a Saturday. No. You can't get there.
And I think the
People
last,
do,
the
but
last
I
time I
can't.
did a park run, I think we actually had 2 prams with us. So we had 3 kids across 2 prams.
Wow.
And I did my calf muscle.
Like, and that's enough of that.
I don't think this is us at this moment. But you can get to this point where you're doing sport with your children.
Yes, that's amazing. Oh, how exciting.
That's so good.
You're just like life goals.
Yeah, like life still happens in your 40s.
Yeah.
And more so in your 50s, I would say.
Yeah.
Bring it on.
Yeah, when they're all a bit older and you can like
they can,
chuff off.
Yeah, go and do your own stuff, guys.
So, Georgie, you texted me last week.
I did.
This was a very specific text.
It was a directive.
Which also, to be honest, you do give me a bit of.
I do. Part of if we have roles, that is my role.
That's your role.
Here is your to-do list for
Tell
today,
me
Libby.
what to do, Georgie.
Well, to be fair, that's how you asked me to deal with you.
I'm very coachable, have been always.
I stopped apologising for it. I'm like, right, today you need to do this.
Yes, and I'm like, thank you, Georgie. I appreciate your
But
to-do
I am
list.
bossy.
But our roles work.
Yeah, this is why we complement each other.
Correct.
There's a yin and yang.
So you told me to watch the Jelena Dokic.
I said that we needed to watch that.
Yes, and you did. You were very diligent.
I told you where to watch it.
And I watched half of it this morning before the podcast.
That's fine.
Which is fine.
I was like, you have to watch it on Channel 9.
Yeah.
It's on the app. Here's the link.
Yeah.
I was so specific because I was like, barriers to entry. She needs to be able to go straight in.
ADHD. Tell me exactly what I need to do.
Here is the link.
But we got sidetracked and we watched the Avicii documentary, which, again, excellent.
It's not part of your homework, but
Was
actually
not part of my homework. Again, we digress, coming back to Jelena. Tell me, Georgie, what were your thoughts about the documentary? Because when you had watched it, you had said it was quite confronting and quite difficult to watch at times.
So I would preface this with, I think this is something everyone should watch, and particularly parents and people associated with sport. I think it's a really important piece of history that we all need to remember and understand better. But in saying that, I was absolutely fascinated. It was a hard watch, but it wasn't, because what the story was telling me was so gripping. I was absolutely transported back to the time.
Yes.
Because I remember her as a junior player, and I remember her coming up through the ranks, and I remember there being an issue with her dad, but I didn't remember exactly what had happened and what had happened to Jelena subsequent to him becoming a really difficult part of her life from a public perspective.
So for me, in the parts that I have watched so far, and I will absolutely finish it because, as you said, it is gripping and such good storytelling.
Yeah.
Like Jelena does a beautiful job of kind of commentating different parts and different games and things like that, which is amazing. But what really struck me was that time, like, you know, Anna Kournikova, Lindsay Davenport, you know, the Williams sisters were just starting to come through.
But even like Monica Seles and Steffi Graf, and, you know, Monica Seles, she was an incredible player who was absolutely torn out of the sport as a result of a random stabbing attack during one, I think it was the French Open maybe. That was completely horrific. But these were some of the most recognizable names in sport, and they were women.
Yes, and they were talking about that. They were talking about how much money was coming into it, which obviously contributed to some of Jelena's experiences as well, because
undoubtedly
that was something that was driving her father. But I think because she's our age, so she's born in 1983, I was exactly the same. I'm like, kind of had a vibe that her dad was like a bit of a nuisance.
Yes. That's the sort of level of understanding I had. A bit intense in the side.
But I also do remember her being like quite defensive of him.
Yes.
And that was, I think, you know, I would have been a little bit younger than her. I don't know, you kind of see that nuisance in inverted commas behavior and you go, oh, well, she's kind of supporting that. Like that seems a bit lame, or it kind of turned me against her in a way, which I'm entirely ashamed to admit. But like to see behind the curtain
Oh,
and, you know, from a very young age, this girl was, yes, very talented. Like seeing some of the games, you know, the game against Martina Hingis where she just like annihilated her
yeah.
out of the first round of Wimbledon was just incredible to watch.
She was an absolutely sensational player, and the intensity that she hit the ball with was, I mean, it blew my mind that someone so young could be such an incredible talent.
Yeah.
When she started tennis, which she started because her dad saw it as a way to make money.
Yeah, to get them out of poverty.
Yeah, and you know, that's a really complicated place to start with sport.
Yes.
But she did actually love it.
Yes. And she was good at it.
And she was really good at it. I'd love to understand if she loved it originally and initially it was a space away from her family.
Yeah.
And it gave her something that she wasn't getting in her family environment.
Well, she definitely was talking about with her first coach and how connected and how much she wanted them to be her family and how supportive.
The guilt she felt for that.
So how does it kind of flow through the abuse with her father, Georgie?
So it's definitely runs along a timeline. The way that Jelena described it, that the abuse became more and more significant and more out of control and reckless. All abuse is reckless, but particularly in how he was perpetrating it as she became more successful in her tennis career. As you watch it, it's like that analogy, and it's a much used analogy, of a frog in boiling water. It's like everybody who was watching it had a sense that something was wrong.
Yeah.
But at no point did anyone go, maybe we should step in.
Everyone probably assumed someone else was going to do something.
Yeah.
And as well, she was abjectly denying it.
So this is
as well
really interesting to me. They all knew that something was wrong, but she was denying it. But everyone forgot that she was a child.
Correct.
And where the control sat in that picture. And these were very different times. We're talking 20 years ago.
Yeah.
When I don't think as society we understood how abuse, what it looked like, and how it was perpetrated and what victims could look like. But it's heartbreaking to see the realization of the other players.
And the coaches.
Yeah. But particularly the players who are of a similar age group, because they also would have felt quite helpless in how they could help her. Like they were in the locker rooms with her, and there's a really poignant moment that Lindsay Davenport talks about where she supports Jelena, and it was one of the few times that someone actually said, "Are you okay?
Wow.
I'm going to give you a hug." And you know, you can see Lindsay Davenport now is like, how do we not do more?
Yeah.
But you know, she herself is a very young person.
Yeah.
In a sport.
And how do you even navigate that?
And what does that look like?
And especially when there's someone so intimidating like Libby Dokic.
And Sam Stosur really stood up to him in a hotel sort of confrontation. But again, she was like, I didn't really know what else I could do because that's her dad. Like there was this real division. Everybody sort of sat back because they were like, well, that's her parent and he's the person who's responsible for her. And no one sought to question, is he actually a caring parent? What
I also found quite devastating was the comment that she said about her mother and just how she just couldn't rely on her.
Yeah.
Because her mum knew of what was going on, was aware of it, but just didn't help her.
And maybe her mum was in a similar...
Absolutely. Yeah. But like how heartbreaking that would be to know that one parent is doing the abuse and then the other person is just turning a blind eye.
Yeah. It's got to be one of the most isolating experiences.
Yeah.
I think what is just so incredible is the love that Jelena has for tennis still.
Yes.
The passion she has for tennis.
And you see that in her commentary. She's so good.
And the fact that she's now found a place for her to be in tennis and be a part of tennis. Like I think that must be
quite healing.
Yeah. Absolutely. You can see this place that gave her some stability has now become a home for her and a place where she can share what she has experienced. And to the credit of Tennis Australia, they have been nothing but supportive in promoting this movie.
Yeah.
Channel 9 has been incredible This was something that was put on in theatres when it was first released. Channel 9 has now bought the rights and it's available on their platform. It was put on at Fed Square during the Australian Open. Everyone is very much owning that this story happened.
Yeah.
No one's looking away.
Yeah.
And I think for Jelena, the fact that people, they didn't look away, but they didn't know what to do. And now they're really owning it and saying, this is part of our story. This is part of our tennis history.
Yeah.
And we need to be Jelena's biggest cheerleaders. I think that is a fabulous change in culture.
And I think, tennis for so long had been known, not just Demir, but like
there's an absolute trope around tennis parents.
Correct. Tennis parents can be absolutely diabolical. And we did a little bit of research before as well. They've changed some rules around, what ages kids can start, being full-time on the tour. They graduate them into the open landscape, not just for obviously protection in terms of minors, but they definitely understood that there was a big push from a lot of parents in really toxic ways to get them into the tour as soon as possible, which then shortened their longevity of their careers, their physical ability, their mental capability of handling all of that, which is just, it's too much.
You think about players like Jennifer Capriati, who burst onto the scene and were in Grand Slam semi-finals and then it just had these terrible reputations and things and were considered wild childs and all that sort of thing. And it's like, well,
Bernard Tomic.
Yeah. They're kind of, because they were.
Yeah.
You put them in adult places at a very tender age, and did you put the right safeguards around them?
For me, it's such an important kind of look at sport and the culture we create as parents. For me, it always comes back to we can't push our kids too early.
No.
And why are you pushing your child?
Whose dreams are we living out here?
Yeah, whose dreams are we living out? What is it about? Is it about, supporting them and their passions, or is it about trying to make money, or is it about trying to get some sort of status, or really looking at it from a parent perspective over why you're putting your kids into sport? Because this is the difficulty. Is it pushing them, or is it encouraging them? Is it supporting them, or is it, thrashing them? A lot of people get confused about what that line is. And for me, as we said right at the beginning, if it's driven by your child, you can support and facilitate, but it can never be pushed from the parent.
It's just not worth it. Jelena is the person she is today because of her experiences, undoubtedly.
And the amount of people that she will help with telling her whole story and speaking that truth is just remarkable. I have such admiration for Jelena.
And at the same time, her life has involved an incredible amount of trauma.
Yes.
And at the end of the day, for what?
For what?
For a game of tennis. And I get it. It's really cool. Tennis is amazing.
Super cool. It's my favorite sport.
It's also a meal ticket, but you're dealing with kids.
Yeah. And their mental health.
And their dreams. It's not your dream. It's the child's.
Correct.
Please watch it. It's not hard. It's compelling.
Yeah, I totally agree.
And I think as administrators,
difficult topics and conversations, for sure.
I think you can turn away because it feels too hard. This was something I walked away from and thought, I've learnt so much, and I've really appreciated looking back on the history of tennis, and I can now appreciate how far tennis has come as a sport.
So good.
Lisbeth.
Georgina.
We need to talk about the cricket.
Yes, please.
I've had a message on the DMs.
You know me.
I know. Well, I've had a message saying, given the incredible performance of the Australian women's cricket team, does Libby now watch cricket? So I put it to you, Libby Trickett.
Oh.
Do you now watch cricket?
I watch the highlights through social media.
This is progress. This is progress.
I know we're doing real good, and I know that Alyssa Healy is a bloody legend.
How good was she? So
incredible.
For those who don't know, the Australian women's cricket team has just finished up the series.
Crushed it.
Absolutely whitewash.
The Ashes, right?
Yes. Sorry, I say it's a series like you all know. It's the Ashes.
I'm it was the Ashes, right?
Which some sports outlets referred to as the Washes, which I didn't hate. I thought that was quite good.
They also would spell washes.
Oh, true. I liked their interpretation of the pronunciation.
Did you say it like that, or did you just read it as washes?
No. Thank you. I heard it spoken and thus referred to it as the Washes.
Or Ashes were.
I mean, I really look forward to a time when the women's games
It's just AFL.
is just AFL. It's just cricket. It's not W. Because if we're going to do the W, let's do the M.
We need to do the M. I totally agree. It's the mashes and the washes.
Let's have the mashes and the washes because just because you got to do it first
it doesn't mean you
own
get
the acronyms.
I totally agree.
The women's Ashes, we totally won everything in the series.
Yeah, crushed it.
We had sold out matches.
It was a white wash.
That was good.
Thank you.
I like that. Sold out matches. The women played the first women's test at the MCG, which resulted in the guy who has to put names up on the boards, like the different honour boards that exist around cricket ovals in Australia. He did get his ladder out 3 times, actually 4 times in one game.
Wow.
Which was incredible. So
what was he doing?
So these honour boards reflect, like, they'll have people's names up there of who got hundreds during a match or who got the...
It's lots of pomp and ceremony in cricket, isn't it?
It's so cricket. It's a little bit private school, if you know what I mean, like these timber honour boards with the lettering on them. So if you get 100 at the MCG, I didn't know this until last weekend, but your name goes up on an honour board.
Oh.
If you get at least 5 wickets in a match, your name also goes up on an honour board. And the first women had their name put up on the honour board of who has scored at least 100 runs.
Wow.
At the MCG. Annabelle Sutherland and Beth Mooney both scored tons, which is the way we talk about hundreds in cricket, at the MCG. And so there were these moments where their names go up onto the board and there's no other women's names.
So cool.
On the board. Like, that's just... Like, it gives me actual goosebumps watching that because...
Well, it feels like you're breaking barriers, right?
This is actual history.
Yeah.
Beautifully, our children will never know any differently.
Yes.
But we know that that's incredibly symbolic.
And that in 2025, that was the first time it ever happened.
That was the first time it ever happened.
Yeah.
And then Alana King, who learnt spinning from Shane Warne, plays at the MCG, which is Shane Warne's spiritual homeland. He's got a stand named after him there. And she gets 5 for 53, I think it was.
Wow.
5 wickets for 53 runs. In the last innings of the match.
So good.
Her name goes up on the board and just, again, everyone stands around and watches it. And these are the women who are changing what sport looks like in Australia. I think it's really important to recognise that cricket is one of our most progressive games for women.
Yeah.
And that the men have been hugely supportive. Don't forget it was the Men's Players Association together with the Women's Players Association that supported netball when the contracts weren't being signed.
I totally agree.
This sport is moving women's sport forward.
And, once I relearned that Pat Cummins was the cricket captain, he is still the cricket captain.
The men's cricket captain.
Yeah, the men's cricket captain. I was like, oh, that's right. He's a really cool dude. I like him.
He's really progressive.
He's super progressive. And I'm like, oh.
Which means that some of the old generation get a bit like, oh, who does he think he is?
Totally.
He's a new
But that's why I like him. Because he's
a rebel.
He's pissing off all the oldies. Love that. I am getting a softer spot.
Yes.
There, I said it. Pains me.
We've just got to keep talking. But we've made it. We've made it, like I've done anything. But
we have made it, Georgie.
We have made it
a popular sport finally.
Well, but it's given you a reason to watch.
Yeah. Well, watch highlights at this point. I haven't properly sat down yet.
It's okay. If I could get you to watch. I also was thinking about it the other day in terms of the time commitment to watch a swimming race versus the time commitment to watch a cricket game. Like you watching the highlights is also like you watching a swimming race.
Yes.
The highlights of cricket is equivalent time.
No, I know, but I watched hours of tennis.
Oh, okay.
So I have staying power when I want to.
But only for individual sports.
But only for team sports, Georgie.
They're the best. They're the best.
But honestly, well done to the women's cricket team. It was just so cool to see. Like, you would just be sending me all of these things on Instagram.
Constantly. Absolutely.
And I'd be like, oh, man, that's so cool.
Also,
just to
Georgie, what else are you doing today?
Also, Georgie, is there other sports happening?
Nope. It's wall-to-wall cricket. We are so excited.
Oh, my gosh. It's so exciting, Georgie.
To say and to let the sporties know that this other podcast that we do called Play On, which we've probably harped on to you before about.
Probably like 2 years ago.
Probably a while ago now. that we did with our great mate Rebecca Sparrow, who is a teen and tween author and expert, all about keeping kids in sport, which we talk about constantly. It's now available to everybody and it's free.
The reason that we wanted to kind of put it out there is possibly there's something else in the works.
Maybe. Another bun in the oven.
Another bun. Georgie,
Oh my God.
are you making an announcement?
No, I am 100% not pregnant.
Just to be very clear.
Sometimes I have a nightmare and it's the realization that I could be pregnant. Like, oh, what just happened?
Oh my God, no.
And then I realized that is your life.
Mm-hmm. Every couple of years, buns, ovens.
I mean, it's not like I don't have children. I have 3. That's enough.
That is enough. I don't disagree that that's enough. But no, we're so excited because, you know, especially off the back of something like a Jelena documentary.
Oh, yes.
Especially off the back of, you know, starting a new school year, starting a new sporting calendar.
This is a great time to absorb these messages. And it's really important to know that this is not just a podcast for kids.
Yes. The reason we put this podcast together was there are so many barriers to kids not only playing sport but continuing to play sport, particularly into their teens and tweens age groups. So, you know, we see that massive participation drop off after the age of 12 where we go from, 70%?
70% of Australian kids play sport at the age of 12 and by the age of 20 we're down to 20%. That's a statistic that we got from the Australian Sports Commission and that's like on our walls that we look at all the time because it's so startling that that's the drop we have in kids sport.
Because we are so passionate about lifelong sport, you know, we're in our 40s, we're still playing, we're still wanting to
mucking around,
keep moving, keep learning. Like the fact that our kids are dropping off that much
doesn't work for us.
We weren't happy with it,
no,
to be honest.
Do better,
Australia.
Yeah.
So we really wanted to put together, you know, really easy listening ideas around the challenge that kids are facing and ideas that we can do to combat that. And, you know, we had Rebecca Sparrow, who's just incredible at digesting, you know, difficult information and kind of sputting it out in a really productive way. She has no background in sport.
I mean, that is the beauty of it.
Yes.
It was really important to us that when we put this together, the perspectives were that of someone who was Olympic. That is not me. That's Libby. And then there's someone who's very much the community sport person, and that was my experience.
Yep.
And then there's Beck, who would actively go and hide in the toilets to avoid PE, because that is the breadth of experiences that we have here in Australia.
And that's what we want to talk to. Like, how do we get kids who are like that into sport in the first place? How do we make it less competitive and less intense? And how do we talk about inclusive uniforms? And how do we talk about, oh, my coach said something bad about my body? You know, these are all the things that we as adults know stopped us from playing sport. You know, when I was dancing when I was 10, I got told I looked fat in a leotard, never danced again. You know, these are the things that impact us and put us on different paths.
Yeah.
And we want to be able to have those conversations. Yes, you can listen to it with your teen or tween. You can listen to it by yourself. You can listen to it together, or they can go listen by themselves.
It's totally age appropriate for any kids aged 8 up. And I think what I would also say is you don't have to be listening to it because your kid's having a problem with sport.
Totally.
I would say what you're doing is equipping your kids with tools to navigate the issues as they grow and go through sport and as they're confronted by different things.
Also, equipping us as parents.
It's so interesting that you should say this. So we have had a conversation in our household recently that one of our kids is not going to be continuing with a sport.
Ooh.
And this was a sport that she was being encouraged to, not by us, but by coaches to do rep in. And
I wonder what sport that could be, Georgie.
And she's just not interested.
Yeah.
She just decided when it came to registrations, she was like, I don't really feel like I want to do it. I'm going to play it at school. I don't want to play it for club.
Because it's too intense.
But there was a part of me that was like, okay, do I push her? Like, I really had to use all the tools we spoke about through the podcast to then navigate this new realization we were having for her.
Because it's learning, you know, where to dig in and where to, you know, how to navigate. Like, is it just because you're nervous?
So we then unpacked what it was and the reasons she didn't want to play anymore. And it took a while. Like, we really had to go back and forth over a couple of weeks to understand the reasoning.
Yes. And of course, you know your kids the best and
Yeah.
when to navigate those conversations.
And it turns out it's because she wants to try AFL, which is everything we would want our kid to say.
Yeah.
She's decided she wants to do something different.
Yeah.
And she's expanding her sports repertoire. She's not specializing, which is everything we talk about. And I sort of had this realization that we did good.
Yeah, you did it. We taught ourselves something, Georgie.
We taught ourselves something. We are living and breathing these issues.
Yeah.
Which is why
every day, every week.
We made it for us.
We did. I'm not kidding. But we also hope that you get something out of it as well.
Oh, absolutely. This is a resource that we have always hoped could be out there for everyone to be able to access, and we're so appreciative that it can be, and we're so excited that you can get it on Spotify, you can get it on Apple, you can get it on all the weird and wonderful podcast apps.
Wherever you get your podcasts.
Wherever you choose. Go get it.
And what I'm most excited about, Georgie, is that we have a number 2 coming.
The bun in the oven.
Not a poo.
Oh my God.
I love that you went bun in the oven and I went toilet humour. But no, there is something that we have in the works, which is going to be coming up later in the year. And
note me being
no, I know you're like, oh my God, stop talking.
No.
Don't tell them. So yeah, please go have a listen. We'd love to hear your feedback. We'd love to hear any questions that might arise with you or your kids.
Hit us up.
And if you can, share it.
Oh yeah, share. This is a great resource to share with your clubs, with your schools as you head into those new seasons. Like, put it in those mums groups.
Yes, please.
We would really appreciate that because we are only 2 people.
We are not in all the mums groups.
We need to mobilise those WhatsApp groups to share this around because it can only help.
Well, that's it, Georgie. We're all done.
We're all done. I'm talked out. Got nothing left. I'm done now. We will see you next week on the pod. We drop our episodes every Wednesday. Please like, please share, and please review.
Like, subscribe, rate, review.
We cannot tell you enough how much it helps, and we really appreciate
everyone's I know it sounds
support.
really naff, but it actually
it's also
does.
on the end of every podcast, but we're like, please.
Actually, please.
Please help. Thank you.
See you next week.
Bye.